Hello, my name is Uwe Forsberg here at IDCON. Today I'd like to talk about how to facilitate an effective planning and scheduling meeting. The first thing to start with is probably to write up a brief agenda. What is the purpose? Who's going to attend the meeting? What are you going to prepare? What do you bring? What needs to be decided? The outcome of the meeting. When is it going to be? Where is the meeting? And start and end time. You shouldn't spend too much time in there and waste everybody's time. Who should run the meeting? So who's going to be the facilitator? Any meeting rules that you need? Are you talking about participation, being on time, and things like that? Who's going to take the minutes and actions and setting deadlines for things that needs to be decided outside the meeting or completed? And of course, I think there should be some KPI reviews, especially scheduling compliance and PM compliance in this meeting. So when we're in the meeting, we're really supposed to confirm and adjust the work schedule for the next week. What work orders need to be planned and what are the priorities? And when we're saying scheduling, you really should start looking out for the weekly work, maybe 4 weeks out, starting to schedule 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100% for next week. Same thing with the planning. Planning can take some time, ordering parts or whatever is needed, getting contractors in, so you need to stay ahead on the priorities of planning too. So the other part of that is to say what work needs to be carried over from last week, what was completed, so that needs to be reviewed. Some other things that might be done in the meetings, but I'm not recommending it to start doing that. Updating the priorities in the backlog. What is the status in the backlog? What happened in the last week's work? Is there anything you need to discuss? Maybe review additional KPIs and identifying improvement opportunities, how to schedule and plan and execute the work. So who should attend the meeting? Of course, we need the operations and maintenance coordinator. So that's the one point of contact. That is the person that needs to keep up with the production schedule and what's going on with equipment in production. And also representing what we call the owner of the asset. We need the mechanical supervisor, electrical instrumentation supervisor. Of course, we need the planner. And if you have schedulers to participate in this meeting. I believe that optional people could be the maintenance manager, and operations supervisor. And of course, if you're a smaller organization, maybe the maintenance manager is the one facilitating the meeting. So in the meeting, you can prepare yourself by reading through the backlog, know the priorities, what are the things that we need to add on to the schedule, what needs to be planned. So that should be done ahead of time. So you basically need to review of all the prepared drafts. So somebody should send out a draft schedule, make sure the backlog is organized. And the meeting is really not about sitting down and going through the backlog in detail and select work. That should already be kind of prepared before you go to the meeting. So that needs to be done ahead of time. Any actions that needs to be taken, what are we going to add to the schedule? Any work order outstanding, anything we missed, or is it communication that was missed during the execution of the work? So remember, this is not a problem-solving meeting. Delegate issues, write accountabilities, take actions, and set deadlines for things that need to be taken care of outside the meeting. Another point is to say, okay, how do we actually get good participation? And maybe you should have some meeting performance KPIs. A simple way to do that is to have points for, are you on time? Did you miss the meeting? You have active participation. And I suggest that you put that up on the board in the room where you're meeting on a regular basis. And people can review that and also make sure you can discuss why somebody's missing a meeting on a regular basis. Another thing, so let's say you are the facilitator, you might be the planner, you might be the maintenance manager to facilitating the meeting. Let's say that the operations and maintenance coordinator doesn't show up on a regular basis. So what are you gonna do? Well, of course you wanna go talk to a person. Is there anything that hinder them from participating? Is there anything doing that they don't have time to go to the meetings? And if that can't be addressed, I would suggest you go to your boss and say we need to figure out who can actually participate in a meeting from production and represent all the communication that we need, the production department or the asset owner. So those are a few tips. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back with more on planning and scheduling.